It was on a grim October morning that I chanced upon a rather odd lengthy book while roaming around particularly Sabby Library in Angelo, Virginia. The place was practically a historical monument, as it was built in the early 1800s, and had survived the passing centuries with little repairs done to it. Besides, the modernized innovations is such as electricity and heating. But I'm not the one to delve into the dark of the arts, whatever you fancy you are calling it. But it's more than a little intrigued by this book's title, The Book of Names. It was large and sat upon a walnut brown desk that looked almost as old as the town itself. The creaking wooden chair sat behind looked the same. I slowly sat down on the chair, careful to avoid collapsing it if it is not sturdy as I hoped. When I settled in comfortably, I took a look at the book. The cover was characterless, and it was only displayed a black void to me, although I did see the letters D.A. etched in a small print at the bottom of the tomb. Initials, I assume, were the writer's initials. I took the cover in my hand and lifted to see a blank page. Taking that page, I lifted another blank page, and after lifting a second blank page, I finally discovered the words, The Book of Names. Below were the initials, D.A. again, and under the initials were words. Those that don't know the power of the secret words, that must be wise not to read further. Those that do not know the meaning of names would be wise not to read it further. Those that do not understand the meaning of those words would be wise to not read further. Those are aware of the power of the secret words, the meaning of the names, and the meaning of the words thus read would be wise to continue reading immeasurably caution. Do not abuse the secret words. D.A. As I read through the passage, an overwhelming sense of appreciation came over me, but my scholarly interest forced me to turn into another page. This page revealed to me a list of locations in every small, handwritten print. As soon as I realized that what I was looking at was a list of countries and provinces, cities and towns, those within those countries. I skipped a few other pages. I only found a list of different countries and came to the fact that it was probably had every city, town, province, or country in the world. After searching for a few minutes, I was able to find an Article, Virginia, United States of America, and then another far right number, 3968. It didn't surprise me that the book had more than 3,000 pages in it. It was quite a behemoth. Turning to page 39968, I found a list of names that seemed to be in alphabetical order. Aaron Aronson, Aaron Arpichcombe, Aaron Abernathy. Lists of names went on and on for pages after. I skipped a few hundred pages and found only more names. Skipping another couple hundred pages, I found one more names. Now skipping more than a couple of thousand pages, I came across one title read Ritual Words. Turning that page, I found a list of words that didn't seem English. Although they were written with English letters, it read out hushed voice, No Seja, No Joy, Tade. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it. But to me, the words sounded evil. I read another set of words out loud. Semej, Ixa, Enog, and all those sounded human, unnatural to me. As well as I continued to read the lists of unnatural and evil sounding words, but soon went back to the name section of the book. Going back to article, I continued to read the names. Name after name of names that I didn't recognize, but there was one I did recognize. The librarian had told me that his name was Johannes Steinberg, but sure enough, the name's Jones Rudolph Albert Steinberg. I said out loud, Jones Rudolph Albert Steinberg, and then for the odd reason, stated the ritual words Semej L.A. Enog. I don't know why. I thought something would happen. I suppose, but I don't know. Then suddenly I heard a woman scream. I jumped down and turned around in the direction of the screaming. It quickly getting out of my chair, to see what was the matter. "What's wrong? What's happened?" asked one of the men standing by, also going to see what was wrong. "The librarian, he's dead," shouted the woman, who I assumed it was who had screamed in the first place. A gush of hushed voices erupted the sound room. I stood there. The power of secret words. I had somehow killed a man by seeing his name, and in the ritual words. The more I thought of it, the more I came to the grim realization that I must have caused the death of John Steinberg. I ran back to that evil and venomous book that could have been made by the righteous being and desperately searched for my name. I eventually found it, and it said Andrew Charlton Ward, and then Simaja Ilan Innog. I had taken the life of a man, and it was not fit to live. I dropped. Those that do not know the power of the secret words would be wise not to read further. Those that do not know the meanings of those names would be wise not to read further. Those that do not know the meaning of these words would be wise to not read further. Well, my pretties, that was The Book of Names, a Creepypasta. My final thoughts on this story? This is actually a pretty interesting creepypasta involving some sort of ritual story that involved, someone in a library reading this really creepy book that ended up taking a life of somebody. I honestly have questions as to why that was the case or something, but I don't know if it was like a spell or something, but I mean, we may never know. I actually might have heard of a narration of, I've probably have heard of a few narrations of it. The narrations, I do remember the people who have done it is people like, Severed Wings, FearNet, Josh Minus, Lance's Creepy Reading, etc. I honestly found this story to be rather interesting. It's a pretty good pasta. It honestly was a really well-made story. I honestly thought it was a pretty interesting concept of it. So, with that being said, I honestly still thought it was a pretty good story for what this is. I honestly have never heard of this story until I checked out those narrations. I honestly thought that it was a pretty good story. It's a really awesome, well-made story, and I do recommend you guys check this out. I will leave a link in the description of where this story's from. I know it's from the regular Creepypasta Wiki, but I'll link in the description so you guys can have a chance to go and check that story out. It's a really good story. I thought it was really neat and well made for a pretty good story like this. So, anyways, the grammar was pretty good. I really can see this being, it was very readable. I honestly still thought it was a pretty good story. It honestly was well made in detail. So, with that being said, I'm going to sit here and just say that this is just my own opinion. If you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories, and this is just my own personal thoughts. So, to the author, if you happen to stumble across this story and you happen to be the author of the story, feel free to let me know that you're the author of the stories, because I'll be sure to give you proper credit if I ever were to see you on my channel. Like if you happen to come across this video and comment to let me know that you're the author of this story, I'll be sure to credit you in the description and all that if I find out who the author is. So, yeah, this story is a 10 out of 10. It's a good story. It's a good ritual. I still thought it was enjoyable, and especially with the fact that, it's a book-related creepypasta. I honestly really thought this was interesting and neat. So, anyways, I guess with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, because I personally would like to hear what you guys think. So anyways, I'm the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and if you're new to my channel, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to any uploads. That way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out.